Good morning, beautiful people, and my nap kings and queens. I am Tamika Armstrong, also known as Nap to be. Of where I do just talk about any and everything, but today is gonna be my realistic journey of my natural hair. And if other things come to mind, I will speak upon it. Nothing towards anyone against anyone. I'm just talking about and speaking the things that happened to me on this journey. I do live streaming of outfit of days, a little bit of fashion, beauty, lifestyle, DIYs, crafts, cooking on my channel. If you like that type of content, make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn your notification bells on, and follow me on all social media apps. My links will be down in the description box. And make sure you check out my community posts here on my YouTube channel. I have motivational, inspirational quotes, and I give you a visual art of the clothing that I wear in my live streaming. With that being said, we're going to move right along. And if I mispronounce words, say something wrong, forget it or whatever, this is real, raw, uncut, unfiltered, unedited, and unscripted. Trying to give you in real time but to share my natural hair journey, I was always natural. I don't know if I said this well, I was always natural up until middle school. And I remember the first time I begged my mama. I don't know why. I guess because of the person that I was going to at the time to get my hair straightened, because my mama would do it at home sometimes, but mainly she would put a hot comb in my hair, but it was it was not often. It was like special occasions. And now I understand. So, I guess I just didn't like to go to this person that was doing my hair. So I remember I begged and begged and begged. And so she did. I think my mom put the relax in when I first got it. But I remember going to junior high, and I wish I would have never done that. I wish I just would have stayed natural. Now I know what I know. I wish. But, everything happens for a reason. So that's give you a test. You have a testimony. So, but I do wish. So I stayed probably like with a relaxer from maybe junior high school up until probably like 18, 19 maybe. Like right after high school. I remember I went, I was at my HBCU at that time then. And I remember I used to go to the games like I always do. And it wasn't a homecoming. It may have been, but I remember I put a relaxer in. I either dyed it first and put a relaxer. Whichever one I did, my hair just came out. So I didn't have no choice but to cut it back off. And I'd never forget, I was on the city bus and public transportation. And this older lady, I was already feeling bad because around at that time, people wasn't really embracing short hair. And she said to me, this her exact words now. I can remember. She said, "Is you a girl or is you a boy?" I'm like, I don't disrespect. I just looked at her. I couldn't even say nothing. I think I might have said I'm a girl. I just looked at her. I know I didn't disrespect her, but that was funny. It's funny then, it's funny now, but but that's just that goes to show you how being natural has been a fight itself. It's been a fight. It's been a journey. So I remember after that, I wore it short, and then I remember wearing hats and stuff trying to cover up. But my hair grows so fast, so it grew back fast enough to be able to get a relaxing. I remember getting a relaxing. I just had it short, and then it just eventually, start growing out. So I'll say from probably like 18 up until my mid 30s, I went natural and been natural ever since. And I'm over 50. So I said all that to say this. On this journey of going natural, and then that time in the beginning, I embraced it. I loved it. I guess I just didn't know the proper care and how to maintain it and what I really did. And I had the best natural hair person, which was my mom, and she used to tell me what she did to my hair when I was a little girl, and I still do. So hey, this is real raw, uncut, unfiltered, edit. I don't wash it all the time. I don't. I don't worry about the growth. I don't try to put retention on my hair. Meaning like, but that's to each his own. I'm talking about from my experience. Now I did at first, I used to do a lot of hairstyles, but it was much longer and I would keep it twisted and just do styles with twisted styles. And sometimes if I did a particular style, I would, if I like braided on the sides or do twists in the back or updos or whatever, that's what I mean. I don't change it like I see. I didn't like to change my hair every other week is what I'm basically saying. I don't do a lot of manipulation. And no, again, I don't wash it often. That's just my regimen. That what works for me. And as far as like when when it was in the shorter stage, I kept it short for a long time. That was very convenient because I had went back to school. So I basically had to start over when I went back to school, and I went back as a non-traditional student. I started over, it was from the very beginning. So having a short hairdo was very convenient, and it was good for me because for one, keeping it short and I could go every so often to get my hair cut. And then I found a female barber. And a lot of people may not like me when I'm saying this, but a female barber is going to cut your hair with a feminine touch. I'm sorry. I've tried them all. And I hate this because I want to move with good intentions and kindness and not speak negativity. But every male barber that I had, they didn't cut my hair like right. They always wanted to give me a trim in the front. But that female barber kept me on point. For one, she was an ex-beautician. She had to stop because of the chemicals. So I guess she self-taught or whatever. She knew how to use the clippers, and she would cut my hair. When I say I seen one lady that I know that I love the way her cuts are, but we're gonna just keep that. But these are just some pictures. If you could see how I would wear it short, that was just water and gel, and sometimes no gel and just water. Also, you could see the fashion sense that I like, jeans and fitted tops. But see, I just showed so you could see how the shortness, and it was just the way that she cut it, and my hair, when it grew out, it grew in the right form. Okay, and then although keeping it short, and then from that process, I got bored with wearing it short. And also too, I had went to Atlanta, came back home, couldn't find a job. So my hair had just started to grow out, and I was like, what am I going to do? Because I had worn it so short for so very long. I was so used to that because it's a get up and go. Yes, having natural hair it's a task itself, but I love it. It's a journey itself. People don't understand that. People used to look at me so very like off the wall. Like, why would I say that? But it is. You got to know what works with your hair. You got to know the texture of your hair. You can't go by what somebody say that works for their hair because your hair is totally different. I don't do that. I researched. I made up concoctions in my mom's living room. And like I said, if I said it before, she used to laugh. And now I know it makes sense now. So in that process, yes, I was used to short hair, but when it started growing out, I was like stuck. So that's when I turned to YouTube. I found a lot of natural hair people that I would follow. And one in particular, forgive me if I can't remember everyone. Actually, too, they used to do the best. When I say could do those, I guess I'm an OG follower. She is Dr. Nina Harvey Ellis. Forgive me if I Dr. Neiman, she's beautiful brown baby doll. She used to, I don't know, she used to do those hairstyles. And also, I'm gonna take it all the way back. She started out as X Golden. She is Ambrosia Marlboro. Yes, she was X Golden. They used to do the hairstyles that was just that make you want to embrace your natural hair. And I said that to say this because, and then also there was a young lady, her name is Kimmy. For those who I mentioned and those who I may have forgotten and stumbled on the words, please forgive me. I will put the correct names in the description box. I used to wash them all the time, and then I had to figure out what would work with my hair. And I'll be real. I remember seeing this one product. So I didn't know the texture of my hair because, and I don't know why, I was thinking that when you see those pictures and those different products, I thought that could make my hair work like that. But I didn't even know the full understanding of my own texture of my hair. I made up, I'm nappy to be. That's just like a metaphor, you know what I'm saying? It's not really. So my hair is curly, kinky, coily, but it's mainly curly, tightly curly, coiled or whatever. I just didn't embrace that. And I was trying to, I guess I saw different people with products or things in magazines, and I felt that it instantly worked for my hair. But overall, for these 20 plus years, I know what works and what doesn't work. I know if it's water soluble, non-water soluble, the proximity, I know all of it about my hair now. So I said it to say this: do not let anyone stop you or deter you from going on your natural hair journey. But I must say, you got to learn your own hair. You cannot listen. And I'm not saying this against what I'm saying. Even if you see a system, you got to know what works for your hair. I've had people say to me, when am I going to straighten my hair? Why am I wearing my hair like my own natural hair? I had to fight as far as like with the words that came out of people's mouth. But once I realized I loved my natural hair, and I know it irritates people, I know she is the center of attention because she is nothing but art itself. When I wear it the craziest, that's when I get the most stares, and I love it. I used to wear it all. I used to wear my hair so crazy, and I would say crazy as in like very eccentric ways, like out of the box. She's very thick, and I'm so thankful and blessed. I would used to take twists in it and just let it flow and be on its own, and however it flow. I used to get the stares and the looks from people. And the one thing that I will say, people had a habit of touching my hair. I'm not too good on that. I don't, and then I had guys telling me, oh, if I touch your hair can grow. You can't make my hair grow because probably your hands are probably nasty. I don't know where your hands been to be in my hair, touch my hair. I've had those kind of statements. And I never forget, I was in a club one night, and this is when I used to go out, and I was sitting to the bar. And this guy that I know I've been knowing for a long time, he said that he was doing hair or did hair, whatever. He couldn't have. Because I had my hair like, you know how the high puffs, but I had to just push back till all of this was out. Like it was a big afro, but like in a big afro puff. He came in, spoke. Do you know he took his hands and squeezed my afro puff? Now, how rude can you be? That's why I don't like really kind of wearing it out. People love to touch it, like they don't understand or appreciate your boundaries. And then one other story, when I go back being natural, which was a couple of years ago, I'll come back to that. But yeah, you couldn't have been a person that did hair or someone who did natural hair, because you would know, why would you do that? That was the most rudest thing ever happened. Say you can't say certain words, but yeah, that was just really like out of the box that happened for me for natural hair. To just squeeze my hair. And then when I turned around and said something to him, he caught an attitude by touching my hair that belongs to me. Yeah, the crazy thing, when I'm gonna straighten it, why am I wearing my hair like this? I remember two things is going back to short hair. The first, when I was short, when I was in school, from these pictures, and sometimes I would have her cut it shorter. Um, you know what I'm saying? As short as she could get it. Because all I have to do is put water and gel, like I said, and that's it. I remember going to a homecoming. This guy, he said to me, you know, you keep wearing your hair short like that, trying to insinuate. I'm like, wow. This is someone who looked like me, but anatomically different, and said by me wearing my hair that it had something to do with who I like. And I'm like, that, you know what I'm saying? That was just like off the wall. Just, I don't understand. But now I know, and I love it. I love the stares. I love when people look at me and question. And they used to question all the time, did I have did I have extensions or anything in my hair? No, it was all mine, all me. She's all me. And how I got to this was back in this journey. Um, you know, as I stated, back in 2023, I had started doing gig work. 22 to 23, but in March of 23, I was able to go get me a haircut. So I got a haircut because, for one, I was outside doing gig work. It was hot, had personal summers, and then it was just easier to maintain at that time. But things happened. Stopped doing, I stopped getting gig orders. So I ended up, you know, losing my car, and just everything went downhill, and I was left again. So that was just a sign. So she's here to stay. I'm definitely going to keep it trimmed, and, you know, and I always have the self-hair care of natural hair care. But as far as cutting it short again, one, the razors, I can't deal with the razors again on my edges. That's a sign to just let it grow. And here she is today in its rare form. And I love it. I love my natural hair. I know, I'm telling you, she is the center of attention. She's art herself. And so that is a realistic moment. Don't let anyone tell you, but I will say this. Don't go by what other people use for their hair, because it's not going to, it may work, but you got to know your own hair. I used to have a lot of problems with it too. People would ask me what I would use, and then they'll say, oh, that didn't work. Well, you got to learn. And I used to tell them, learn your own hair. I used to just direct them to YouTube. Hey, go to YouTube. You got to find somebody that has somewhat similar texture. But I say, in order for you to know what works for the hair, you're going to have to learn your own hair. I don't care what people tell you. Even if you go to a salon, you still going to have to know at-home maintenance to be able to maintain your hair. I'm just keeping. You're going to have to, I'm just saying. So my take, what works for me may not work for you. I know what works for my hair. I've done this 20 plus years. I got notes, and I got a concoction book of things that I tried over and over. I have my natural hair journey book of what works for me. And don't let nobody tell you, oh, every texture is different. And I think every natural hair is beautiful because it's your own hair. It is your own hair. If I would let what people said to me about my hair, some things I'm not going to speak on because they were a little bit horrible about my own natural hair. You would disgrade me for my own natural hair, but go praise some hair that ain't belong to people. I'm just saying. But you know, she is a work of art. But anything, and again, my style, I made sure I always had the thought process of creating content. I've always been a person I've always loved fashion. I always loved beauty. I've always liked doing DIYs, crafts, and I would say not perfect my cooking, but my mama used to always say, you have to just keep trying until you get it right. And she was right. That's one thing that stays with me that I remember. Now, I love makeup. You probably saying, oh, you don't wear it? Yes, I don't wear makeup. There are a lot of things that that's coming that I'm preparing to making room for. So I don't have, if you can see, good thing it's not that good of a lighting. You can't really see my skin or whatever. So I don't have any makeup. Now, one time I did put on some foundation. I have a skirt. If you go back and watch that live stream, I had a skirt on. And it said in Paris. I think that's when I first started with this little updo. I have on makeup then. Now, what I do love is eyeshadow. So I just wanted to show you some of my eyeshadow palettes. I think I may have used this one. You know, I love eyeshadow. So these, I don't think I just think I used just this watercolor just in the corner of my eyes. Yes, I know how to do makeup, but I'm trying to wait until I get everything because most of that stuff is old and I don't want to put it on my skin right now. And this is this is one other eyeshadow palette that I have. I don't know. I can't open that one on this side. Take too long. So I love bright eyeshadow colors. It accentuates your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And this is my one that I'm going to be glad to get into. It is very beautiful colors. If you can see, very beautiful colors. See those colors? Oh, so I have makeup. I just need to replenish, you know, that's what every fashionista, every guru, every girly who's into those kind of things, you always want to replenish whatever you have. That's with the fashion, even with natural hair. But for this journey, she's here to stay. She's here to stay. Like I said, I can't do the razors and keep it short anymore because it irritates. The last time I did it, and nothing against the young lady who cut my hair because she cut my hair perfectly fine. It's just that I guess I'm irritated, and that's probably a sign for me to let my hair grow because that was in March of 2023. It was a tapered cut, really, really, really short, and she's here now, and she's here to stay. Also, last thing before I go, because, you know, this is just a Sunday rant of all things that I can think of, but mainly it was about my natural hair journey to inspire someone and to motivate them to keep going. Don't let anyone tell you how to wear your hair and what hair looks good or what looks great. And even if I straighten my hair, I don't like my hair bone straight. I don't like my hair bone straight. So I didn't even straighten my hair to get this style. My method of stretching is to plait it, twist it, and that's it. That's my method. Even when I had like the blow dryer and all of the other stuff, I never bone straightened. I did it and I did not like it. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I was scared to bone straighten my hair, I just felt like that my natural texture would not come back. But it did. I kept that bone. I kept it, and I would wear a ponytail. I kept it for like, I think it may have been like maybe a month or so, because once my hair is straightened, it becomes thin. But I love the thickness and the kinkiness, if you call it, or the curliness of my hair. She loves her natural hair. But anywho, love your natural hair, girlies. But I had these yesterday, and I forgot to show you. These are just some frames that I need to have lenses put in. Aren't they beautiful? They're gray. They're gray frame. But some of the ladies, and another young lady who I watched was Fusion of Cultures. Like I said, if I forget some names and I mispronounce, please forgive me. I'm no harm. I'm moving with good intentions and kindness. But I used to watch all of them. That's why I used to get a lot of the inspiration to do my hair, because just like when I see recipes, I tweak it through my own ideas. Even if I see a hairstyle, I try to add another twist to it and not to be the same and do it the same exact way. But anywho, just have on an orange lipstick. I have the orange lipstick and I put that lip gloss. I don't know, maybe because it's old, because I have had it for a while. It's starting to run. So I had to blot it a little bit. So hopefully you can't see it like on the corners of my mouth. I'm just keeping it real. I just have some gold rings. Yes, and I have my nails polished. But anywho, As I always, if you like this type of content, make sure to go and check out my live streaming here on my YouTube page. Check out my community posts. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn your notification bells on. And follow me on all social media apps. My links will be down in the description box. And I hope you enjoyed this content today. And encourage yourself, believe in yourself. Never give up. Never let anyone write your story for you. And follow your own goals, dreams, and aspirations. And I hope everyone has a great day today. Peace out. Pre-Memorial Day, for Memorial Day. Peace out, beautiful people.